Hello and welcome to Grief Seeds, a podcast where you'll find insights, reframings, metaphors, and visualizations, all known as grief seeds, to help you cultivate growth and healing in your life after loss. My name is Shelby Forsythia. I'm an intuitive grief guide and author, and on this show, I'll share insights from my interactions with clients, wise words from fellow grievers, and personal stories from my own life, with the hope that they transform your grief as they have transformed mine. Because even when it doesn't feel like it, we are planting the seeds of growth in the midst of great pain and heartache. Your grief is welcome here. Hi there, grief growers, and welcome to another episode of Grief Seeds. Thank you so much for joining me today. What I want to offer you in this episode is a speedy reframe of a conversation that might be going on inside your head. I've worked with so many clients through the years, through workshops, through one-on-ones, even coaching through email every now and then, who have told me stories inside their heads that the experience that they're going through, the emotions that they're feeling, the life that they are living is bad. This is bad. This is awful. This is horrendous. This is torturous. This is terrifically haunting in a way that it never has been before. This is negative. This is wrong. I'm doing this poorly. I'm not good at this. And these stories may be true. These things may be true for you. I will never discount the way that you tell your story about grief. And in this episode, I want to offer what life coach Martha Beck would call a 1-degree shift. What if the story you told yourself in life after loss was not that something was bad, that something was wrong, that something was awful, that something was negative, but simply that it was different? I'm feeling more pain than I've ever felt in my life. I feel like something is wrong. Versus, I'm feeling more pain than I've ever felt in my life. I know that something is different. See how that feels inside your body. See how that lands between your ears. See how that speaks to your heart with a different tone, with a different urgency than bad, wrong, awful, negative. Is something actually bad, wrong, negative, awful? Or has something simply changed? Is this different? Is this new? Have you never done this before? Is it unfamiliar? Is it unknown? These are all different words we can use to diagnose ourselves, to describe ourselves in life after loss that take us from a place of being in crisis and needing saving to shifting to this posture of being in new territory, of experiencing something that we've never had to experience before and not quite knowing what it is yet. Does this feel bad, or does this feel different? Are you wrong, or are you different? Is everything your life looks like now negative, or is everything your life looks like right now different? How does this change the way that you see yourself in life after loss? How does this change the way that you see where you're going? Also, and maybe most importantly, how does this alter the permanence of what you're feeling right now? When I've worked with clients who use these words like bad, wrong, awful, negative, there's a bit of a finality to it. There's a fear of permanence. This is exactly how I'm feeling it, will be exactly how this looks, how this happens, what I'm feeling, what this looks like for the rest of eternity, forever and ever and ever. Amen. There is a myth that so many grieving people buy into, that because our losses were permanent, our lives afterwards and the exact things that we feel right now will be permanent as well, including bad, wrong, awful, negative. But what if feeling bad, wrong, awful, or negative was instead feeling different? Something I've never done before, unknown, uncertain, not sure yet. You see how this 1 degree shift cracks open a door of opportunity for something else to also be true. You have not diagnosed yourself as wrong or bad. You have diagnosed yourself as different. Different implies you have changed. Different implies you could change again. Different implies this is not all there is. And sometimes hearing that or telling ourselves that in the aftermath of loss can feel like a bit of a miracle. It can feel like relief. It's drinking relief through a thimble. It's not a lot. It's not a ton. It is not an entire breath of fresh air. But this thimble full of possibility, I feel different, offers you an opportunity to feel differently again. Something can change. You are not stuck here. To go back to a previous episode of Grief Seeds, this is not where you will set up house. This is not your new home. This is not where you are doomed to stay. So I invite you, grief grower, the next time you tell this story about yourself, the way I'm coping is bad, what I'm feeling is wrong, what I know to be true is all negative, life as I know it is awful. I challenge you to replace these words with different. And just see how it makes you feel. If it doesn't work for you, discard it. You are totally free to do that at any time. But if it helps you shift into a place where you are not in crisis, where you are not doomed, where you are not irreparable, my dear grief grower, oh my word, what a piece of grace that is in life after loss. What if you were not bad or wrong, but simply different? What if loss did not break you or make you bad? What if everything you're feeling wasn't wrong, but simply different? I invite you to take a deep breath in with me here. And out. As you traverse your life after loss, I invite you to give yourself gentler labels. Bad, wrong, negative, awful can feel like a red pen on a test. F, failed, doomed, incapable of repair, salvation, or change. Finality. I invite you to substitute different. Different is a doorway, a possibility in the aftermath of loss that maybe what you're feeling right now, what you're experiencing right now, what life looks like right now is not all there is. Yes, you have been changed by loss. Maybe not for the worse. Maybe not. And because you have been changed by loss, life can surely change you again. May you know that you are free to make judgments about yourself as a griever at any time, and these judgments determine what you believe to be true about your life after loss. How safe the world is, what your relationships look like. These words are powerful, and may you know that these downshifts, or upshifts, however you'd like to see them, from bad and wrong to different, can open the door just a smidgen of a percentage, just a bit of the way, for you to see and know how things could be different, how they could change again, that you are something, someone that is alive in life after loss. This has been a death of sorts, but it is not death in its entirety. And sometimes death does not make us wrong, destroy everything we knew about our lives. It simply makes all of us and all of that different. And that's okay. Deep breath in. And out. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Grief Seeds. So that's all for this episode of Grief Seeds. Thank you so much for listening today. You can find additional grief support at shelbyforsythia.com or by following me on social media at shelbyforsythia on Facebook and Instagram. If this podcast helped you in your life after loss, please leave a review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And be sure to share Grief Seeds with a friend, because you never know what someone you love is going through. A huge thank you to my Patreon supporters for financially keeping this podcast on the air. If you'd like to support Grief Seeds on Patreon through a yearly or monthly pledge, you can do so at patreon.com/shelbyforsythia. My Patreon supporters get access to behind-the-scenes content, including a once-a-month grief support call with me and 5 90-minute workshops with topics decided by grievers themselves. Again, that website is patreon.com/shelbyforsythia. Music for Grief Seeds is performed by Addie Goldstein. As always, my dear grief growers, it was beautiful sharing this space and time with you today. I see you. I am so proud of you and the work that you're doing in the world. And I love you. Because even through grief, we are growing.